Knights Templar, Tales of Sir Geoffrey de Clare. This is a fictional story brought to you by the Knights Templar Order of Australia. Some characters and places are real, but are in no way to be taken as fact. Like, share and subscribe for more Knights Templar. Tales of Sir Geoffrey de Clare. Volume 1, Issue 1 and 2. Author Daniel Burl. On a cold winter's night, January 16th, 1127, the cries of a newborn echoed through the stone halls of Clare Castle. Geoffrey de Clare entered the world under the watchful eyes of his parents, Richard Fitzgilbert, a formidable Anglo-Norman nobleman, and Adeliza de Claremont, a woman of noble French lineage. Clare Castle, with its imposing motte and bailey structure, stood as a testament to the family's power and influence. Geoffrey was the youngest of 8 children. His eldest brother, Gilbert de Clare, bore the weight of the family's expectations, destined to inherit their father's lands and titles. Roger, Walter, Baldwin and Hervey followed, each with their roles carved out within the family's expansive holdings. His sisters, Alice and Adeliza, were married off to forge alliances, strengthening the de Clare name across England and France. Geoffrey's childhood was a blend of noble privilege and the shadows cast by his elder siblings. He roamed the castle grounds with youthful exuberance, his imagination fueled by tales of knights and battles. Yet, he was always aware that, as the youngest, he was not destined for inheritance or glory. His future lay in service, not in ruling. His father, Richard, was often away, engaged in military campaigns and political maneuvering. Richard was a man of action, a figure both revered and feared. He instilled in his children a sense of duty and honor, though his stern demeanor left little room for affection. Adeliza, Geoffrey's mother, was a woman of grace and strength. She managed the household with an iron will, ensuring her children were well versed in the ways of nobility. Despite her busy schedule, she found moments to share stories of her own childhood in France, filling Geoffrey's mind with visions of distant lands and ancient castles. In 1136, tragedy struck the de Clare family. Richard Fitzgilbert, Geoffrey's father, was slain in a skirmish in Wales. The news arrived at Clare Castle like a storm, bringing with it a wave of grief and uncertainty. Geoffrey, then just 9 years old, was devastated. His father's death marked the end of his carefree childhood and the beginning of a more arduous path. With Richard's passing, Gilbert, the eldest, assumed the mantle of the family's head. The household mourned, but life had to continue. Geoffrey watched as his mother and brothers navigated the treacherous waters of politics and land disputes. Amidst the turmoil, a decision was made about Geoffrey's future. In the spring of 1137, Geoffrey was sent to Cressing Temple in Essex. At the tender age of 10, he was to become a page, beginning his training to serve the Knights Templar. The journey was long and arduous, filled with uncertainty and excitement. Accompanied by a small retinue, Geoffrey made his way through the rolling hills and dense forests of Essex. The group stopped at the village of Hedingham, a quaint settlement nestled in the countryside. Here Geoffrey saw firsthand the simple lives of the villagers, a stark contrast to his noble upbringing. The sight of Hedingham Castle, with its towering keep, filled him with awe and anticipation for what lay ahead. Cressing Temple, founded in 1137, stood as a beacon of piety and discipline. The stone buildings and fortified walls were a stark reminder of the Templars' mission, to protect pilgrims and uphold the Christian faith. Geoffrey's days as a page were filled with rigorous training and strict routines. He learned to care for horses, maintain armor and adhere to the Templar code. It was here that Geoffrey met Bernard, another page his age, born in October 1127. The two boys formed an immediate bond, their friendship blossoming amidst the trials and tribulations of their training. Together, they dreamed of the day they would don the white mantle of the Templars. At 14, Geoffrey was promoted to squire. The responsibilities increased, but so did his skills and confidence. Under the watchful eye of seasoned knights, he honed his prowess in combat, strategy, and chivalry. Bernard, ever by his side, shared in these experiences, their camaraderie deepening with each passing year. The years as a squire were challenging but rewarding. Geoffrey's determination and dedication set him apart. He absorbed the lessons imparted by the knights, learning the importance of honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. His thoughts often wandered back to Clare Castle, to his family, and the legacy he hoped to forge. As the year 1147 approached, Geoffrey and Bernard, now 20, faced their final test before becoming knights. The training intensified, each task more demanding than the last. Their bond, forged in the fires of adversity, was unbreakable. They supported each other through every challenge, their eyes fixed on the prize. The day before their knighting ceremony, Geoffrey reflected on his journey. He thought of his father, whose memory had driven him to excel. He remembered his mother's stories and the lessons learned at Clare Castle. He felt a profound sense of gratitude for Bernard, his brother in all but blood. On the evening of June 24th, 1147, the air was thick with anticipation. Geoffrey and Bernard gathered with their fellow squires, their hearts pounding with excitement and nervousness. Tomorrow they would stand before their peers, take their vows, and become Knights of the Templar Order. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over Cressing Temple, Geoffrey knelt in prayer. He sought guidance and strength for the journey ahead. He knew that the path of a Templar was fraught with peril and sacrifice, but he felt ready. With Bernard by his side, he believed they could face any challenge. The next morning would mark the beginning of a new chapter in Geoffrey's life. But for now, on the eve of his knighthood, he found solace in the friendships he had forged and the family he held dear. The legacy of Richard Fitzgilbert lived on in him, and he was determined to honor it with every breath. The dawn of June 25th would bring with it the mantle of knighthood, and Geoffrey de Clare would rise as Sir Geoffrey, a knight of the Templar Order, ready to face the world with courage and faith. This is a fictional story brought to you by the Knights Templar Order of Australia. Some characters and places are real, but are in no way to be taken as fact. Like, share and subscribe for more Knights Templar. Tales of Sir Geoffrey de Clare.